You are now listening to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, episode 189, recorded on April 1st, 2014. Brought to you by Frigid Blast Studios in association with NoobReview.com. Hello and welcome to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, your home for quarter munching fun. And I challenge you to a shadow duel, where my prize will be your soul. My name is Stephen Boss, the Dark Boss Man.
And Square Enix, you did a good job. 104 songs on the Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD remaster soundtrack, which I had to order through your website, Digital River exclusive collector's edition. 104 songs. Good job on the quantity. But how in the do you not have real emotion on the soundtrack? The theme song of Final Fantasy X-2. It was really going to cost you that much to license that pop song? That J-pop song? Really? Really?
Is that the one that plays in the opening?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's
Apparently that would have cost them.
I'm MSU Hitman Jason Billingsley. I just had to get that out of the way.
And there you had it.
Yes.
Square Enix skimping on the prices.
I just, thank God I'm not like the one person on CAG. There's one person on CAG who ordered this, and it got lost in shipment.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so now he's going to have to order it. You know, it's like, well, it's 10, you know, if I order it with overnight delivery, it's this much, but on eBay, it's $10 more. I told him to F Square Enix and Digital River and buy it off eBay and then send a letter to Square Enix saying, yeah, because you partner with the worst online retailer to run your website in the world, Digital River, you know, you lost out on my money and I've got it off eBay and you're not getting my money for this game. And you won't.
Or heaven forbid he could pirate the songs.
Well,
as I look left and right shiftily.
Well, he probably wants the collector's edition like I did, so...
I got it. Physical media peoples.
Well, see, that's the thing with this soundtrack. It's not just it's a Blu-ray soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
So, which presents a problem for me, because stupid me cheaped out 3.5 years ago, when...
And you only have a CD-ROM drive, DVD-ROM drive on your computer?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because why would I ever need a Blu-ray drive on my computer? I've got the PS3. Why would I ever... Oh...
Yeah, I know. No, the new PC that I recently got, DVD-ROM, CD-ROM, it's because why would I ever play a Blu-ray? And even if I did, obviously I'd go get a dedicated Blu-ray player, or PS3, or PS4.
Right. Exactly. So now I have to find, to get the songs off the Blu-ray as MP3s, you have to put it into a PC that has a Blu-ray drive.
Yeah.
To initiate the download. So, I mean, that's okay. It is a rather nice looking art book, and it's a bigger art book than what comes in the pre-order $40 version of the game. But that just irked me that Real Emotion's not in there. Because, like you said, that is the theme song. That's like the Street Fighter... Well, no, the Street Fighter 4 soundtrack, the original one with the collector's edition, did have... I think it had... what was the Street Fighter song that was in Vanilla Street Fighter 4 that they've taken out of every version ever since? You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. The name of it is the next something.
It's like indestructible.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The actual title of the song is Next Something.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like Capcom doing that. It's just like writing that song out of existence. Well, at least they wrote it out of the games. But this is just like, yeah, it plays at the beginning. We got, your HD intro to 10-2 going. Just we don't have the song. It's like, come on. I mean, really, if you look at this...
It's really not that great of a song, though.
Oh, whatever.
It's really not.
Whatever. But, like, it's just so weird, because, like, almost this entire soundtrack of 100 whatever songs, like, I don't know if any of these are... there's a handful of these that are from 10-2. Like, the vast majority of this is all Final Fantasy X.
Well, Final Fantasy X did have the better music. I'm just saying.
Well, I understand, but you couldn't have thrown that in there. I mean, really? I mean, hey, whoever wrote Real Emotion, you think that you're going to get any money from that song from it being pirated by every Final Fantasy fan on the internet? No, get your royalties by having it be on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Then you'll make money. You're not going to make money having it on a Japanese-only CD that can't be sold in the West. That's not sold in the West. No, you make your money by having it on the Final Fantasy collection. You collect your damn royalties.
Maybe Square didn't want to pay.
I guess it's just
I mean, they are not doing perfect in the financial section.
It's just a glaring, just like this big hole. It's like, how can a 104 song soundtrack not have, like, how can you
very easily apparently
104 song soundtrack? Well, that's how.
Yeah, very easily apparently.
Yeah.
So.
All right, sorry about that. I just had to get that off my chest
that's fine.
Because we'll talk about that and everything else we've been playing. We'll get you going with the games of April. We'll not a huge list, but some decent stuff coming out in April, and we'll also let you know what sold what in the month of February. And speaking of what's coming out in April, although we're recording this a day late, and another thing to rant about, I hate April Fool's Day now. I hate it. The internet has ruined April Fool's Day.
It just means you have to take everything on April Fool's Day with a grain of salt on the internet.
Basically, I don't believe
everything.
Yeah, you don't believe anything, but there's just so much of it, and everybody tries to be so clever, and it's just... God.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, so guess what totally is still in process today and actually started yesterday? I don't count the thing that happened on the weekend of the 24th. Guess what? It's related to one of the games that came out today.
You'll have to let me think about that for a second. Maybe MLB The Show?
Yes, it's the start of baseball season! Woo-hoo!
Oh, okay.
Winter's over, baseball, Cardinals, woo-hoo! Let's go, Cardinals!
Yeah, it took me a second to think. I'm like, it's got to be something really important to you that you'd say anything, so it has to be something, maybe sports related?
Yes, baseball,
so,
yeah. Woo-hoo!
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, winter still hasn't quite released its grip on the Northeast.
Yeah, I heard that you got one last blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Hopefully that'll be the last one, but we'll see.
I would hope so, but yeah, I think we're finally out of it. So, I think we get into the 50s this weekend. We get like a tiny blast, but that's it. So, all right, why don't we get going with?
Well, there you have. There's your song talk and weather talk for this week.
And baseball.
Yeah, a little bit of baseball.
As much as Steven can stomach.
Yeah, let's move on to the games that we actually been playing, so that we don't have to talk sports. Alright, so, what have you been jamming with?
Alright, well, we need to make a Magic update real quick.
Okay.
Because in between the time that we...
Magic CCG update of the week!
Yeah, because in between the time that we... I need to get you a deck list after the show. I don't have time to type it out right now. So in between when we last recorded and now, Boral's Burn has actually become a legit like tier 1 deck.
Good.
Yeah. So
I'm not sure what else to say. So
yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, basically, it all revolved around changing one card. It's taking the Fire Dancers out, which now they're in the sideboard, and then putting Ash Zealot in, and the deck just sings. And it's super fast. And there's a guy in Australia who plays for Channel Fireball. He's their Australian representative. He top 32'd, one win out of the top 8 from at the GP Melbourne Grand Prix in Melbourne a month ago with Boros Burn.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's been putting it's gotten gained in popularity on Magic Online. And then somebody up in Seattle took that and changed it around a whole bunch and made it more monster focused with Boros Reckoner and Stormbreath Dragons, and won the Star City Games Open in Seattle. And then somebody near and dear to both mine and Steven's hearts, Vijanto Wijaya, who's the number 1 player in the history of Versus System, took a modified version of the Australian build and got top 4 at Star City Games Los Angeles 2 weeks ago.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and thank you to Patrick Sullivan for actually mentioning Versus.
Oh,
like
wow.
The first time they put video on camera in like round 8 or 9. And if you go to the YouTube page for Star City and see Viddy's the first time they put him on camera, which was either round 8 or 9, it cuts off part of his intro, but Patrick says, the number 1 player in the now defunct Versus System TCG. And I wonder if Star City said something, because then, like every other time they reference him as Grand Prix Denver winner. So I thank Patrick Sullivan on Twitter for at least mentioning Versus.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's legit.
That was nice, yeah.
He won Grand Prix Denver, but...
Okay, yeah, sure, but he's probably a little more well-known for his dominance in the Versus for the entire run of the game.
Especially the 2006. I mean, he earned 6 figures in 2006.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 money winner ever in that game, based mainly on the strength of 1 year. Won 1 pro circuit and top 8'd 2 others that year. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's, but whatever. It's kind of like the hidden years of Brian Kibler. Like, you ever hear Magic talk about Brian Kibler, it's his time working for Upper Decks just kind of not mentioned. Then Brian reappeared at pro in time for qualified for Pro Circuit Austin and won that and solidified his Hall of Fame status. It's like we're not even going to mention that. Yeah, he won the first Pro Circuit Versus. Upper Deck hired him and he worked for Upper Deck for 3 years. We just kind of dropped that off the resume.
I think Upper Deck dropped that off the resume too.
Well, no, Magic.
So just to be fair,
I just wish Magic would treat it like the NFL, like the Pro Football and the Pro Basketball Hall of Fames.
Instead of perhaps sweeping it under the rug, maybe just mention that there was a thing.
Yeah,
it happened.
Yeah,
it's gone. But don't act like it doesn't exist.
Right, because and the point I was bringing up for the Pro Football and Pro Basketball Hall of Fames, it counts everything. So it counts if you were a Canadian Football League player or a USFL, or in basketball if you were a European player of some renown, or college. Like there are guys that flamed out in the NBA but were superstars in college. They're in the Basketball Hall of Fame because they were great. It's not Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, it's Basketball Hall of Fame. So it counts college and European. So,
all right.
I just wish Wizards would treat it like that. I mean, they're the number 1 game. They've lasted. They've stood the test of time, 20 years. I don't think it hurts the brand to mention when one of your players was really good at another game.
I wouldn't think it would.
I don't think that hurts the brand.
especially when the game doesn't really get played in
Right.
the mainstream
I mean, I
anymore.
understand why they don't mention Ascension and Soul Forge with Brian Kibler because he does have his hands in those. I can understand.
Active games, I can
Yes.
understand, sure.
Yes. Versus is
You don't
dead.
want to mention your actual competition.
Right. I understand them not mentioning Ascension, all that stuff. I understand
Yeah.
that. That's totally, that's totally understandable. But come on, just Versus is dead.
In the mainstream.
Yeah, and Patrick probably, if I heard the whole intro, Patrick probably said Grand Prix Denver winner, probably best well, because it cuts off that part and it says probably best well known for his dominance of the Versus System superhero, now defunct Versus System superhero TCG, where he was the number one money earner of that game. That's the intro. Yeah. So he probably mentioned the Magic stuff first, and then, because like you said, that he's going to be more well known. I mean, he's done exceptionally well in Magic, but it's not to the it's not to the level that he was in Versus. Kind of similar to Kyle Dembrinsky. I mean, Kyle, I don't even know if Kyle has won a Grand Prix. I mean, Kyle is a pro tour grinder. I mean, he's played in a lot of Magic Pro Tours. I don't know if he has even a signature win like Vidi has in Magic, but I mean, he's done a pretty decent job. Michael Jacob a few years ago was on like the U.S. team that won like the Magic World Cup a few years ago. So, I mean, Michael Jacob has a signature win, in Magic. And he's probably more well known now for Magic, given that he's one of the more popular streamers.
Okay.
Yeah. He's probably more well known for that than being the greatest Versus player to never won the greatest Versus player to have never won a Pro Tour or a Pro Circuit. I mean, he was the Phil Mickelson for a while there in Versus, but anyway. All right, so Boros Burn is a legit deck now. Of course, this all happens after I trade away a bunch of cards to get. Well, I needed to get Mutavaults anyway. So I got Mutavaults and I traded cards to build up Ragdoss aggro. And now Boros Burn is a thing. So I have a fairly major tournament coming up on Saturday the 5th, and I think I'm going to go with Boros Burn. I'm going to go with Vidi's build and see what happens.
Well, I would tweak it just a little.
Well, Vidi's build is pretty... Well, yeah, I mean, his is... I am...
Trust me. People would be ready for it, so tweak it just a little.
Well, it is going to get tweaked just a little. I'm going to take out one copy of Fire Drinker Satyr from the sideboard and one copy of Vigiano First Blade from the sideboard and put in 2 Revoke Existence. Because Blind Obedience, and if you see Vidi's semifinal match at Star City LA, he loses the semifinal because in game 2, his opponent got out Blind Obedience on turn 2, and Vidi could do nothing because all his haste creatures come in. Artifacts and creatures your opponent control come into play tapped. It also has Extort, where you can pay an extra white or black, in most cases white, and gain a life and your opponent lose a life. So
yeah, that's pretty powerful.
His opponent was able to make all of Vidi's haste creatures come into play tapped, and every spell he played where he could pay an extra, he could, and mitigate the burn damage somewhat. So yeah, so I have to have Revoke Existence, and it's also good for like the God cards and stuff.
Yeah, or anything that's indestructible.
Yeah, or Naya Hexproof. To get rid of some of their enchantments. So,
okay.
Right, so it is going to be tweaked a little bit, but I am going to run Boros Burn, and it's a major tournament because, yes, it's a Grand Prix Atlanta trial, and the winner gets 2 buys into Grand Prix Atlanta, which I probably wouldn't even go to. It's in the middle of May. I think I'm going home that weekend to see some family. But the bigger thing is that first prize is also an unlimited set Mox Rupee, which is worth $500.
And damn, when you told me what it did.
Well, I mean...
That's a little broken.
Well, yeah. It's one of the Power 9, and you can only really play it in Vintage. I think in Legacy, you can only play 1 copy. But it's a 0-cost artifact that taps for 1 red mana. but it's one of the Power 9. It's a super expensive card. It's mainly based, it's collectors. Because like I said, nobody plays Vintage.
Yeah.
Vintage would be like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Without a ban list. That's what Vintage is for Magic. So just put that into your head.
Or basically any card game without a ban list.
Right. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Essentially, I mean that one's pretty pretty broken without a ban list.
That's funny you mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, it is, isn't it? We'll get to that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to some games.
All right, video games.
Yeah. Let's start with the 3DS because I played a bunch of demos. A lot of them have been sitting there for a while. Let's start off with Sonic Lost World, the 3DS version.
Okay.
Wasn't too impressed. I mean, much like the kind of 3D Sonics, I just wasn't super impressed with it.
That's kind of been Sonic for a while now.
Yeah. I mean, Sonic Generations seemed okay. I haven't really played it a whole lot, but the problem with Sonic Lost World is the analog nub, or whatever you want to call it on 3DS, is not designed to be a super precise for platformer to me. And I was having a lot of problems getting Sonic to go where I wanted him to go. And I was also having problems there in the tutorial stage. There were these sections that were blocked off with these spike trunks, and you're supposed to build up enough speed and run on the wall to the side of them to run past them. And I was having a lot of problems getting past that section of the tutorial.
Huh. Okay.
So I was like, yep, okay. I played it, so...
Yeah.
There's a couple of stages to play after that tutorial, but I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done here.
Yeah, that sounds about right for most Sonic games. You play the tutorial and then just go, this doesn't play right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm done.
Yeah, so then I went to Mario and Sonic at the London Olympics demo.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a demo. It's awful short. It's basically, five different events. These are all just essentially mini games where you either hit a button or use the stylus or whatever. And like I didn't have any problem on the demo winning, getting because it was a cumulative score thing through the 5 events.
Yeah.
First place were so many points, second, etc. And it seemed like they don't really get into it in the demo, but it seems like in the full game, depending on which character you would have competing in that event, they may have like a special ability. Like I think Shadow had higher jumps or something in the trampoline event, and then Luigi had longer jumps or whatever in the race at the end. So, I mean, it might be okay to buy the game for kids, because I know there's always a lot of parents coming in, like, trying to find a game for their, if you've got a DS for a 4 or 5 year old that can barely read yet, it would be a good game for them. But you get much older than 8 or 10, and I think that's pretty much the upper limit of what this game shoots for. I mean, if you've got a preschooler, pre-grade school kid, it might be fun for them, but once you get beyond that age, it kind of loses its luster.
Well, I have to ask, were you expecting something that wasn't mini games?
Well, no, it's just I never had a Wii, remember, and I didn't have a DS for the longest while, so I've never played one of these Olympic games. So this was
none of them have ever been any good.
I know, but I just wanted to have something to talk about the show and on the show, and it had been sitting on my DS forever, and I didn't want to. I spent that time to download. I wanted to at least give it a try to talk about it, because there may be some of our listeners out there that are looking for a game for a schooler or kindergarten age person, this one might be okay. It's never seen a price drop, I don't think. I don't think it's worth full price, but
Yeah.
if you can get it cheap, maybe. But
I
price,
think it was on sale digitally.
maybe. Yeah, it probably has
I
been.
want to say it has been on sale on the eShop.
Quite possibly. I wouldn't
All right.
spend more than $20 for it, if that. So, all right. Moving on. I played the Mario and Luigi Dream Team demo.
Okay. What'd you think?
I mean, the combat was fine, and I was fresh off of South Park, which we'll get to in a second. But I couldn't get out of the second part of the tutorial because it was introducing all these jumping mechanics in the world, and there were these tiles that changed color and flipped, and I couldn't get out of the second tutorial level and got frustrated, and I'd spend an hour on it, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, so I was not a fan of Mario and Luigi Dream Team, which I don't know if I'll like. I've never played any of the Mario and Luigi games because they were always out of print. Like they'd come out and then they'd sell out and go out of print, and they'd be sitting there at GameStop used for 30, 40. At one point, they were up to like 50 used, and I was just, no, I'm not, And then I sold my DS back in 2010, and then, I went 3 years without a DS, so this was my introduction to the Mario and Luigi series, and it was just kind of like, maybe the older ones are better? I don't know.
I would say go back and maybe try and get your hands on Bowser's Inside Story.
Yeah, isn't that one of the ones that's
It was the previous one.
Right, I understand that, but isn't that one of the ones? No, one of those is coming to Wii U as part of their big, I guess, GBA eShop push. I guess there was a Mario. What was that? Superstar Saga, or there was a Mario.
I think it's Superstar Saga because I believe that was on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, because they're putting Game Boy Advance games on the Wii U eShop.
Yeah, and not the 3DS. That's weird, huh?
Yeah.
That they wouldn't put it on both and make more money.
Well, they need something to sell Wii U's.
Because I probably would rebuy the original Advance Wars.
Yeah. And that's I know it's a perfect game for either the Wii U gamepad or 3DS. I mean, that's just a perfect game for that.
Yeah.
All right, so the fourth demo that I played and final demo that I played on the 3DS, and I actually did enjoy my time with it, was Bravely Default.
Yeah, I still need to check a demo out. I've got it sitting on my 3DS as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a Final Fantasy Tactics game without the Final Fantasy. I mean, you have...
And without the turn-based tactics.
Right.
It's more just straight-up RPG combat.
Yeah, I mean, it would be more in line... Oh, okay, I misspoke there. So let's say...
It's more like Final Fantasy 3.
3/5 without the Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
That would be the better description, yeah.
I mean, technically, this is a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy anyway, because in the Japanese version, I believe it was Bravely Default FF.
Right, okay.
Flying Fairy was the subtitle.
Right, so I really enjoyed my time with it. Now, this is a demo that is meant to be played for hours on end because not only are there a bunch of quests to do, and if you complete all the quests, you get items that will carry over into the main game when you play the main game. All the stuff that's in the demo is not in the main game. So you're playing content that is exclusive to the demo.
Yeah.
Not only that, but it introduces the village making mechanic and encourages you to get street passes so that you have more workers that allow you to either tear down broken roads or build shops quicker. And I think the final you get rewards depending on how well you build up that village. So you have
decent little bonus.
I mean there's a lot of stuff to do in just that demo, and just beware that you only have 30 launches.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they really had to gate that like that.
This is one demo that you could easily go through all 30 launches. The
Yeah.
thing is, when in terms of the building with the characters building out, I mean, it counts time that the 3DS is in suspend mode. So let's say you don't have that many characters and you start a task that's going to take 12, 24 hours. You can just close the 3DS with the demo going, put it to sleep, and it still counts that time. So
Yeah.
the next day, if you open it back up, it'll be like, oh, it's completed.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to end the demo and restart,
That's one of the weird things about the game. It has free-to-play timers in it, but it's not free-to-play, and there's no microtransactions.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's weirdly out of place.
Yeah. But I did enjoy my time with them, and I highly recommend anybody curious about that to try out that demo.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try it out.
All right, so let's move on to 360,
Alrighty.
and probably barring Titanfall, maybe like I said last week, last episode, the last retail game I'm going to buy on 360, I beat South Park's Stick of Truth.
Cool.
That third day is just as awesome as the first two.
Was it about the 12-hour time that everyone's been saying?
Maybe I played it a little slower. You could get up, I think I was around 14.
Okay, yeah, so it's pretty close.
But I did like all but like one or maybe two side quests.
Alright, so it's not too short.
Yeah, it's not too short. I mean, it's about the perfect length, because if it got much longer, the combat would probably get a little bit annoying. And even at the third day, like, the combat got super easy, because I used one companion's special move and then one of my special moves, because it refills your power points and your hit points after every battle.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I was able to spam on the third day my characters and my companion character's best, PP moves, PowerPoint moves.
PP.
Yeah, Cartman makes that joke at the very beginning.
Trust me, they're not the first ones to think of the abbreviation PP for a meter name.
Right. But
I actually did a few years ago.
Yeah. But I mean, anyway, so I mean, those two moves, I was playing as a warrior, so those two moves literally killed almost every single wave of creatures in just those two attacks. Like, boom, that would be it. The only thing was like mini bosses, where I would have to do a different move to set up, the eventual 2-hit combo that would finish them off. Maybe I'd have to add in one or two more attacks, but. I mean, the third day is getting a little monotonous there, because it's like, okay, I gotta do this attack and this attack. Oh, damn it, I screwed up this one, so now I gotta go through another combat phase. Ugh.
Well, I also heard that there was ways you could knock people unconscious from the actual map, from the main menu map.
Yes, that's part of the fun. I mean, and you get the full XP for beating them. Yes, so that's part of the fun of navigating the actual dungeons. That only takes place in like the quote-unquote dungeon areas of the game. Like, it doesn't, like random battles in South Park, you're not going to be able to do that. But like the actual areas that are quote-unquote the dungeons of the game, yes, you can totally take down a bunch of people without finding them.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny that you could do that.
Yeah. Now, the only other thing is I actually had to replay the entire last boss battle.
Oh, really?
Because I couldn't beat it.
Huh.
The first time. Because I was like, I don't ever use magic attacks in the game. I mean, you have your magic moves that take place in the, on the when you're walking around, and that's how you take out certain people on the map or open new areas and stuff. But you can actually use those moves in combat as well. But I never did because that doesn't refill. Like that magic meter doesn't refill. So I sat on empty the whole game. So I was like, I'm never using any of this magic in battle, so let's just sell all my magic potions.
Oh, and let me guess, the final boss, weak to magic?
No, to beat him, you have to use a magic attack on him at a certain point when it prompts you.
Okay.
And that's the only way to beat the game. So I got to the end, and I had to reset the game. I had to reset the 360 or dashboard the 360 and go back.
I don't know why you would leave yourself on empty though. That seems weird.
Well, because
I would have at least refilled my MP bar and then sold my stuff if I wasn't using it.
Well, I didn't think of that because I never used the magic quote unquote attacks in battle the entire game. I didn't need it.
First rule of the Boy Scouts, always be prepared, man. Always.
Yeah, and it's a reference to that they build on throughout the whole game, so I should have seen it coming. So just beware if you were like me and being a fighter and being like, well, I never use magic in battle. Make sure you have some magic points for the last boss. Otherwise, you can't beat it. Okay. So, just a foreboding warning there. All right.
Speaking of dungeons.
Yeah, if you want to go that way, yeah. So, several months ago, some Christmas sale, I had bought the digital version of Dark Souls when it was $5.
Yeah, that was the December and end of December sale.
Yeah, the New Year's whatever sale. So, I gave that a try, and I got out of the tutorial area, and that was about it. So.
Alright, so you're not too far in, really.
No, I mean, the game's okay. It's not the, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever, that most people who play that game, and I didn't yet throw a controller, so, but I'm just not like, it's not like Skyrim, where I was like, I don't know if I want to get the Skyrim, and I rented it, and I was just like, give me now. It didn't just hit me like, oh my god, this is so awesome, I must play this. Like, if I don't start it up again, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate, because I would want to see how far you could get in it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it didn't, like, I'm just kind of one way or the other. It's like, okay, I'm glad I only paid $5 for this.
Okay.
And it's there if I ever want it, but it just didn't hit me like, oh my god, this is so great.
What kind of character did you start with?
I started with the Pyromancer.
Okay.
Because I kind of wanted to do the Sorcerer, but everything says that if you're wanting to do spells at all, the Pyromancer is the best one to start with as a new player. So.
Yeah, because it gives you more space for spells immediately, and it gives you 8 fireballs right off the bat.
Yeah. So.
Also, fire magic is awesome. Period. In any game. Burning things is kick-ass. Yeah, my Pyromancer was taking me down into the sewers the last time I played.
Okay.
And then I was able to beat the boss in the sewers and make my way to the door that opens Blight Town. The worst section in the entire game. According to everyone who has ever played that game. Ever. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, and it's just like, if I want to play an RPG, I have a ton of other choices.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about, we've already talked about one set of them, which we'll get into in a little more depth here in a bit. I've got a couple of Tales games for PS3 sitting there. I have stuff.
Don't worry, you're not the only one who has a ton of RPGs just sitting around waiting.
Yeah, so it's like, if I'm going to sit down and play an RPG, I have about 8 or 10 choices before, up to and including finishing Kingdoms of Amalur DLC and
Yeah,
going
I got.
through Mass Effect 3 as Broshep before Dark Souls comes up.
God damn. Yeah. I, jeez. I could probably name 5 RPGs just on my DS, 3DS that I still have sitting around.
Oh, I've got more than that.
That's just on my 3DS, DS.
Right. Okay.
There's probably about 10 or so others waiting for other consoles, minimum. So, yeah. Yeah, I just been plugging away very, 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 very rarely at Dark Souls, but I am really, really amped up to get back in. It's just I haven't been able to record lately, and seeing as I'm recording the entirety of that play, obviously can't really play it if I'm not recording.
Yeah.
So, but there was one thing that happened when I wasn't recording. If you ever do get to the sewers, avoid those frog creatures.
Okay.
Avoid them like the plague, because they will curse you,
Okay.
and you do not want to be cursed, because it instantly kills you. That's so fun. Just instant death. And then when you're revived after your instant death, you have half health. So that's really fun.
How do you get your health back?
You have to go buy a curse dispelling token from the one guy at the very first bell tower. I don't know if you watched up to the point where I rang the first bell in the gargoyle bell tower.
No, I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah. Once you ring the bell, this guy just randomly is standing at the bottom of the tower. He'll sell you stuff that's really good. Buy a few of those curse breaker tokens if you have any souls left over after that.
Okay.
All right, then. Kind of all I've been doing in Dark Souls.
All right. The last thing I played on 360, I went through most of the tutorial of Persona 4 Arena. I mean, it was on sale here like a month or two ago for like $8 or $9 or so, and that was the cheapest it had ever been.
Yeah, I regret not getting it then.
Yeah, so I got everything but like the last two moves of the tutorial done, and those require. There's no way to do those on a controller. Like I was sitting there spire-handed trying to do them on, not able to do them unless you're on a fight stick. Because like I was trying to do it on controller, like nope, this ain't gonna work.
What were they asking you to do?
It was like push 2 buttons and then these two and then this, and I was sitting there claw-handed over the buttons.
What was it, like a juggle or something, or?
No, it was like 2 buttons and then this button and then these 2 buttons and then this, and
So it was just some kind of like combo thing?
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was just, to me, I determined that it's impossible to do on a normal controller, so I would have to hook up fight sticks. So, and that's all I played of it. I kind of goofed around in the menu and started the tutorial and got them all done but 2 moves, and that's all I've played of it. So
Okay.
All right, moving on to PS3. I right after we recorded the last episode, I went through and did Walking Dead season 2, episode 2.
Oh, hey, I did that last night. Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Did you see
Brutal.
Did you see the twist coming as early as I did?
I did kind of see it coming a little bit.
Yeah, and then the thing that was referenced in the trailer that you see after you beat episode 1, I called that too.
Yeah, I had a feeling it would be that person.
Yeah.
I just had that feeling because it's like that's like one of the 3 or 4 people total that it could have been randomly, and that would have made any sense at all. So
there would have 1, 2, 3.
There's maybe 3, 4.
No, there'd be 3.
Maybe
No.
if something random happened and this person hadn't died, then maybe there would be 4.
I can only conceive of 3, but
Oh wait, the girl that stole the RV.
that's the third one I'm counting.
Okay, all right, well,
That's the third one.
all right. Well, anyway. Oh, could have been the kid that takes the car in from the motel in was it the 3rd episode?
Glenn?
Yeah, it could have been him too.
No, he goes off to, he's in the main Walking Dead thing.
I know. I'm just saying he could have come back for a mini appearance or something.
You wouldn't get the reaction
Probably not, no.
from Clementine that they show in that clip.
Yeah.
With him. So that's why I think it was going to be one of those 3, and I called it right. I think
it was pretty obvious who it was.
Yeah.
right from the start. I was like,
I need to watch some playthroughs of that on YouTube, of people that did things differently in the last, let's say, half hour of that episode, and see how things turn out, because I'm kind of curious how things turn out.
Yeah, I kind of would want to. You know what? No, I don't want to know, because my story is what's going on in this universe to me. So I don't want to know, actually.
But I've heard some people not like this episode. I actually really liked this one, and it turned me back on to this season, because the first one, it was just like, and I guess they just ran out of time. They just did not get any of the characters developed.
Yeah. It flew by real fast, this episode.
Yeah, but I mean, they did get some time in there to develop the people you're with. So that's what made me enjoy it more. And plus the whole mechanic of the person who reappears and all that, I rather enjoyed all that. So
yeah,
I'm back on board for Walking Dead season 2. I mean, it's not like I was going to go off the board, but it was just like,
yeah,
it was like, I don't know if it's no longer going to be a disappointment, but I am still more excited for Wolf Among Us. I am still enjoying that more.
Yeah.
But the gap has narrowed.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with the next episode, because the final scene that they show you in the preview, it's a little weird that the person is just standing right next to Clem. It was just a little weird. It's like, they gotta explain that scene a little bit, hopefully, when they come to it.
Alright, so the other thing I played on PS3, which I already ranted about a little bit in terms of the soundtrack, but I did get the collector's edition of the Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD remaster. And I did play about a half hour or a little bit more of 10.
Okay.
But since I've beaten 10, I am more interested in playing the game I haven't beaten, which is 10-2. So the majority...
But didn't you hear? There's extra bonus content in 10 and 10-2.
Well, see that... Okay, so that's the... Yeah, so, okay, here's the thing. So when you boot the game up, it actually shows a bunch of stuff, and then it comes to a main menu. And your options in the main menu are 10 Eternal Calm, 10-2, 10-2 Final Mission, and credits and bonus audio. Okay. So some of the things you're talking about, so 10 Eternal Calm is essentially a 5-minute long cutscene that is the direct prequel to 10-2.
Okay, so that basically tells you what the hell is going on with Yuna,
yes,
and why she's suddenly seemingly a pop star.
Well, you have to actually play 10-2 to...
Yeah, I know, it's a little bit of a quick spoiler at the beginning of 10-2.
Well, no, I mean, that's not Yuna singing in the very beginning of 10-2.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. But anyway, Yeah, so and here's the crazy thing. So watching that gives you a silver trophy.
Seriously?
Yes.
5-minute video
Yep.
and just it gives you a trophy.
Yep. Silver. Not even a bronze, a silver.
That's pretty weird.
Now, 10-2 Final Mission is an actual playable thing, and it's a grind. Like, you have to go through an 80-floor dungeon, and the gameplay is it is like a tactics game. Almost.
Huh. Okay.
It's like a real-time tactics game. Like, you're in a, overhead camera similar to an XCOM or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, don't be like, well, I'm just going to beat the bonus stuff first. Yeah, watch the Eternal Calm for 5 minutes, get your trophy, but don't sit there and go into Final Mission. And, yeah, because that's like 80 floors to beat. There's a boss at like every 10 or 20 floors or something like that. But,
can you actually save in that or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
All right, so maybe it's not that crazy.
Well, right, but it's just wait.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, it's not going to be a 5-minute video. Oh, I got a silver. That's something you're actually going to have to work on. And plus, like I said, I mean, I beat 10s. I want to play 10 too. So, and then the credits and bonus audio. What the bonus audio is, essentially, they have a video credit roll with a bunch of concept art showing up, and then they play the radio drama, which came out in Japan in January, which is the sequel to the 10-2.5 novel that came out in Japan at the end of December.
Oh, God.
And
what is this, fan fiction now all of a sudden?
It's funny you mentioned that word.
Jeez.
Because the actual 10-2.5 novel that came out is not the original form it was supposed to be. The head guy for the Final Fantasy X project had 2 files open on his computer. He had the thing he fully wrote and the thing that was wrote pretty much the same but with some fan fiction-y level writing and sexual references and violent references and stuff. And when he went to send it to the Japanese book publisher,
serious?
Yes.
Oh God, really?
Yes. He sent the wrong version and didn't realize he had sent the wrong version until it came out in print. And he was like, well, it's too expensive to do a buyback of the books, and this is pretty much what I had written anyway. There's a few things that are kind of fan fiction-y, but pretty much the rest of it's kind of what I was thinking of anyway. So, yeah, this is the canon.
Oh, God damn, really?
Yeah.
That's just nuts.
So after that, there is a radio drama that is about, I don't know, that thing had to be 10 minutes plus long, that takes place, after this book, which takes place after 10-2, and the world of Final Fantasy X just gets flipped over, and it's like, and they're like, oh, we're not making 10-3. It's like, why the F did you do all this stuff if you're not making a 10-3?
That's a good question.
Because literally at the end of this novel, you could start up 10-3. Like, that could be a game.
It could, but then they might ruin it, like, Final Fantasy 13-2, 13-1, 13-3.
Well, right. But can I at least say what happens at the end of the radio drama? I mean, that's... Or
how long has it been out?
Well, I mean, it's only been it wasn't in English until this game came out.
Okay, so not very long.
Yeah, but
it might be better to hold off for at least a little while.
I mean, essentially, they have it ready. They have everything ready for a game.
Yeah.
The end of that radio drama is like okay, and there's not a game coming. Like, why did you do all this if you're not having a game coming? I mean, granted, they're busy.
When was it originally released in Japan?
A couple months ago.
Okay, then yeah, that's weird. That's really weird then.
Yeah. But the story about I sent the wrong version of the book to the publisher.
Nuts. Can't believe that. That's wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I've been playing 10-2, and I'm having some fun with it, but I'm also remembering the most annoying thing about 10-2 if you're trying to get a perfect run through of it.
What's that?
There's a bunch of things you've got to do, and I've had to replay the opening level. I had to replay the opening level because I forgot to do something. That's optional.
Grab an item or something?
You have to go find this Moogle on the. You have to go like the person you're chasing is going this way, but you're supposed to go left at the second intersection, go to the docks, and interact with this Moogle that's cowering behind some boxes, scared, and touch that Moogle to regain your life, and then go chase the person again. Like, if you do not go find that Moogle, you miss out on tenths of a percentage of completion that, you didn't get 100%, so you can't get the perfect ending.
Oh, yeah. And the perfect ending is that one cutscene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then,
Trust me. Just go watch the perfect ending cutscene on YouTube. You'll be better off.
I've watched it before, but I'd like to...
Well, no, I'm telling everyone else who hasn't.
I understand, but there's a gold trophy at stake now, so there's...
Okay, all right.
And if you want to platinum it, obviously you have to do it too.
Right.
Please
tell me that there is not a platinum for getting all the ultimate weapons in Final Fantasy X.
Oh, yes. Yes, to get the platinum, you would have to get all the ultimate weapons, and there's a trophy...
Who do I have to strangle now? Because that was the worst thing ever.
There's individual trophies for finishing a chocobo race in 0 seconds or less, dodge lightning the 200 whatever times. Each thing to do to get the ultimate weapon is, for each character, is its own trophy.
That dodging the lightning was the worst thing I ever attempted to do.
No, Final Fantasy XII is worse.
Oh, it is so bad.
Okay, how about...
I hated that so much.
How about Final Fantasy XII, where you open random treasure chests at the beginning of the game, and when you come back through those areas, and then the second half of the game, if you already opened that treasure chest, oops, you lost somebody's ultimate weapon, and you had no way of knowing it unless you were reading a FAQ or a strat guide or something.
That's bad. But that pales in comparison to having to dodge that stupid lightning 200 times in a row.
I think the lightning...
It's nearly impossible.
Okay, well, I'd rather do the lightning than... And other things about 12 just annoy me, but that's one of the big ones.
That was the only thing that pissed me off so bad about Final Fantasy X. That was the only thing. And now they went and made trophies for it. Who do I have to punch?
Somebody.
Because now I'm angry now.
Square Enix. Somebody Square Enix.
Well, somebody Square Enix deserves a stiff freaking punch to the face.
Right.
Square in the jaw for that shit.
But if you're a Final Fantasy X fan at all, I highly recommend getting this.
Yeah.
Good luck.
The game is really good. Just don't even bother with that stupid lightning for the ultimate weapon.
Unless you're going for the platinum, then you have to. But
then you have to. But then you really you'll probably want to hang yourself.
Good luck finding an art book version now. That was kind of a first print run thing, so much like the Kingdom Hearts one, good luck finding one now.
Okay.
I don't even know if the collector's edition is still on the website or not. Maybe it is, but that thing's double the cost. Plus shipping, which isn't cheap. And But I'm really enjoying that, and I'm looking forward to putting some more time into 10-2 and make sure that I read the spots on the strat guide that I own. I own the new strat guide now. And so I've gotten to the point where I'm going to find out how many saves. I've literally gotten to the point of every save point now. I'm making a new save file in 10-2. Like,
Yeah,
literally.
that's probably the smarter way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, 10, I'll rewrite it all day long, whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
But
well, it's harder to miss stuff in 10.
yeah, but 10-2, yeah, you mess up one thing and
Yeah.
oh, there goes your there goes your perfect run through.
Yep. All right.
All right,
So,
so last game I played was on the PS4 and was one of the probably two, bell winner games of the month of March that were exclusive to each console. I have played quite a bit of Infamous Second Son.
all right. Well,
I am
one of the
probably
biggest exclusives, huh?
Yep, I am probably somewhere between halfway to 2/3 of the way through the game.
Okay.
I'm in the second half of Seattle.
All
I
right. Yeah.
just crossed that last night.
That doesn't really tell me much, unfortunately,
I'm in the Lantern District of Seattle.
because I haven't played the game. That doesn't tell me much.
Well,
But
it's
yeah,
actual Seattle map, so much
I'm
like
just
yeah,
just saying.
okay. Much like the other Infamous games, halfway through the game, you've got this broken bridge that you have to get across to get to the other half of the game. So, because it's across all this water. So,
Of course. And being because you're super powered and all, you can't swim.
yeah, at least it's not auto death in this one. In this one, it's just like he sits there, like he actually just sits there floating, but you can't move, and you get the prompt to hit the touch panel on the controller to return to shore. Since he's not electric, it's not auto death like it was for coal,
Right.
because water and electricity.
So it's more like he just doesn't know how to swim?
Yes, they never
All right.
really mention
Maybe that
it.
makes sense. All right,
They don't
sure.
really mention it, but that's essentially what it is.
Okay. I could buy that a little bit more.
Well, I mean, it makes sense for Cole because he's
Yeah,
electric.
yeah. No, no, I got that. But
Yeah,
I'm just,
but
I guess I could kind of buy, okay, maybe the guy can't swim.
yeah, but it would have been nice if they at least threw that reference in there the first time it happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless, so
Yeah.
it is a gorgeous game.
Yeah, everything I've seen of it looks real nice.
Yeah, I mean, it is a gorgeous game. Um, I mean, the mission structures are very similar. The powers are very similar to the previous two Infamous games. Um, you don't have to know that much story of Infamous 1 and 2. You can jump into this blind, and they give you enough backstory. And if you have the limited edition of the game, you get the Cole's Legacy DLC, where you will get introduced somewhat into what Cole did in the. I mean, it's referenced pretty heavily. It's like a 5 quest chain.
Okay. Is it just to flesh out some of the story?
It's to flesh out some of the story and to reintroduce a character from the first two games. And
Okay.
that's the only time he appears is in that DLC quest stream.
Let me guess. Zeke.
Yes.
Yeah. Had a feeling.
Yeah. But the thing is, there's already normal editions of the game showing up. And I don't know how much the Cole's Legacy is not on the store yet, a la carte. So I don't know how much they're going to charge for that. But it is essentially a 5 quest string that when you beat it, you get Cole's jacket.
That's it.
Yeah, this game is all about the jackets, like the GameStop exclusive pre-order bonus, and then every time you have a showdown and free a district of DUP control, it always unlocks a jacket.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, I guess
and
that's something.
yeah, and I thought all the jackets looked terrible other than I've
The
been wearing
default one, right?
the default one,
Yeah.
which the logo changes depending on your
Alignment, good or
al-
bad.
your alignment. Yeah, because that logo actually changes as you go up or down the karma pole.
Yeah.
Um, and I've been wearing Kohl's now, and I just got Kohl's last night, so I've been wearing it, for the last hour I've played the game. So that's yeah. So like all these other jackets, I'm just like, ugh,
I mean,
why?
it was a cool jacket on Cole, so okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I can forgive them for just giving that as the only reward.
And they're playing because the game is seems like it is shorter than the other Infamous games.
Okay.
From what I've been hearing, it seems like it's about South Park's length.
Huh.
And their grand plan
Well, maybe if you don't do everything.
right, but their grand plan for people not being the game and doing the get $40 at GameStop for trading this in within 30 days of release is they have this 6-week part DLC train where you're following a paper powered conduit,
Oh, what?
an origami paper powered conduit. Like the first mission of this string is you just trying to chase this person down, and because he's paper in the wind, he's faster than the freaking you with neon unlimited running.
Are they just trying to rip off Naruto or something now? Because there's a entire ninja based around the fact that she is just made of paper.
Okay, I don't watch,
That's
so
nuts.
yeah, and see,
Okay.
here's the thing. So this DLC thing is included, I guess, with the patches or something for the game, and you have to go to this website to link it to your PSN for you to get all the episodes. Because, like, I did the first episode, and it's like, oh, well, okay, you haven't made the account on this website yet. You need to link your accounts and then come back to the spot and like first thing I did when I opened the game is like I saw the flyer for that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the website, and I go to the website and it's like this doesn't exist. Like it was literally a 404 error.
Oh, great.
So I didn't do that. So
Obviously.
now I need to go see because I've done the first mission, see if I can link it, but it's just like this is your grand plan for people not to sell it to GameStop. This
Yeah, yeah.
it's like, well,
Like
it's more than South Park's doing, but
it's a thing.
yeah, it's a
It's
thing.
yeah. Let's see if it continues to give you 404 errors.
Yeah, when I try to go to the site, but anyway, so I mean, the core game is very similar to Infamous.
Yeah.
There are side quests to do to decrease the amount of control the DUP has in the different sections of Seattle. Once you get a section below 30% or below, you can start a final battle in that district between yourself and the DUP. And basically, you've analyzed their huge billboard in that section of the city, and then you call in taunting them, and they come and to stop you, and you beat them all up. And if you do that successfully, there are no more random patrols in that section of Seattle. You get a jacket, and you open that up as a fast travel point.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's trophies for liberating all the districts of Seattle, half of them, one of them.
Well,
Also
yeah.
for getting the presence down to 0 in one district, half the districts, all the districts.
Yeah. Of
Because
course.
there's
I mean, they have to do stuff like that.
yeah,
That's just a common thing to do with G achievements and trophies.
right. And one of the things that I'm getting sick of doing, but I have to do because it's one of the easier side quests to do that greatly
Uh-huh.
lower is tagging, spray painting certain sections of the city. Like
How
there'll be
come how come you're getting tired of it?
Well, because when you spray paint in this game, they introduce it to you as soon as you start up the game. You tilt
Uh-huh.
your PS4 controller sideways, you shake it like you're shaking a spray bottle can, and then you hold R2 and you have to spray within the lines of the stencil.
Oh, come on. That's not fun, really?
Not the
That sounds
one
fun.
a few times, yes, but once you've done it for the 20th time,
Oh, come on.
it's getting a little annoying. Just saying.
All right, all right.
I
Well,
am
the peanut gallery agrees with me.
I am thankful. Some of them you only have to do 2 sprays, and then he'll finish it off himself. And some of them you have to do 3. So every single time I'm like, please let this be one of the ones with only 2 times. Please let this be one of the ones
Jeez.
only 2 times.
All right, all right.
It's only because the one of the other side quests there, like it might be easier now, but I first tried to do it and it was super annoying. There's another side quest there where there's a DUP agent is undercover as a normal civilian, and you get a picture on your phone, and you've got this certain area where they're at, and you have to find them, and if you can find them and shoot them quick enough, then that's it, you've completed the mission. But if they see you and you don't react quick enough, they go run away and you have to chase them. And
Mm-hmm.
the first time I tried it, it was, I didn't have the second power yet, and it was just too fast. I couldn't catch them. So I've been
Yeah.
avoiding that particular side quest like the plague, which means that I've been having to do I've had to find every single drone to shoot it down and get the shard from it, because that drops the percentage. I've had to blow up every checkpoint station. I've had to blow up every camera. I have had to do every spray tag to get each district down to 30% to trigger the final the battle for the district.
Yeah. Well.
But I mean, the core game is a lot of fun. They do something. It's been so long since I played Infamous 2 or Festival of Blood. I can't remember this, but your superpower now, you have to build up a karmic streak. Always in the Infamous games, down on the D-pad would let you unleash your ultimate attack. And I can't remember if they did this with Infamous 2 or not, but with Second Son, it is based off a karmic streak now. You either have to do...
Yeah, I don't think it was based off karma before. I think that was the difference.
Yeah, so this time you have to do 6 either good karma or bad karma things in a row without going the opposite way to build up your ultimate power. And then you hit down to unleash it, just like before. And the trick to the game is to go around all the patrols and healing people and build up that karmic meter to full before you do one of the showdown missions, or you do, or you're going after there's certain, when you're in a district for the first time, you have to go take out these mobile command posts, and there's a ton of dudes there. So you
Yeah.
build up your karmic streak, and then you go do one of these things, and you jump right in the middle of them and just hit down and just roast them.
Yep. Yeah, I saw a couple videos of people using that power. It's pretty funny.
Particularly the second one,
Um,
the neon ultimate one. That's the one I've been using.
I guess. Well, yeah, I think they did show that one off. I don't remember which one it was, but it was the big area clearing effects. So
Yeah, the neon one is much better than the smoke one. Yeah, that is just like, I build up my karmic streak, I jump in the middle of them, hit down, and just roast everybody. And because I'm a good guy, I'm incapacitating them. I'm not killing them.
yeah.
So,
Well,
but like
I mean,
anything,
heroes don't kill. Remember?
right? But anything metal is just there's just like buildings and stuff just get, all the destructible DUP, hobbled together towers and everything. I just roast them all. It's just like,
Yeah.
whoosh. It's like, get out of here.
Yeah. When you're talking about all the destruction, it's putting me back into Saints Row 3. The destruction and havoc you could wreak was nuts in that game too.
Yeah, so I, I need to beat Infamous. I tell you what, the DLC. I mean, getting over $40. I mean, if I get a little over $40 for Infamous, that pretty much pays off my Watch Dogs. So I don't think their DLC plans go to work unless they announce.
We'll see.
Yeah, but having fun with it. If you have a PS4, I mean, this is the exclusive game to get. If you love the Infamous games, I greatly enjoyed them. You know, I mean, Troy Baker does good work here. I do not like. I like Cole more as a character than Delson. That's kind of an unpopular thing, but I like Cole better.
No, he was a popular character.
Yeah, I particularly like Infamous 2 Cole. You know, I like that voice actor. I liked, you know, Infamous 2 and Festival of Blood. I really liked, you know, that version of Cole. But, I mean, Delson's okay. But it's just, I don't know. I'm not a spray painter guy, so I think there's a bit of a disconnect there for me.
Yeah. I'm a lover of art, so I get that.
Yeah.
It seems like right up my alley.
Yeah. It's at least a unique way of doing. I mean, it doesn't feel tacked on. It is something cool that only you can do on PS4, and I could see it being fun for people to pretend spray painting. It's not my thing, and after 20 times, I'm kind of done with it, but I've got to do it, so.
Yeah.
All right. That's everything that I've been playing. So, Steven, what have you been playing?
Oh, okay. Well, talked about Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 2, A House Divided, which I finished up last night, and yeah, just, man, oof. I really don't know how they're going to get out of this next pickle. At all. Just can't wait for that next episode. Oh, man. But I also was playing a little bit of Diablo 3 for the PC.
Yeah, I need to get going on that on PS3 again.
I finally went back and completed the final act, Act 3, 4.
Okay, cool.
What the final act for the main piece for the main game was before Reaper of Souls came out. And yeah, finally finished the campaign on that. Guess what? I killed Diablo again. Shocking, I know. But yeah, the amount of loot that you get now is nuts. It's just night and goddamn day. I could not believe it at all. It was really crazy.
Hey, in a week and a half, we get to play that on PS4 because that is like the beeline. That's like the one thing there I'm making a beeline for. Like, you know, like Left 4 Dead was at PAX, I guess, '09. And I forget what did we make a beeline for at PAX East 2010? Was there... I can't remember if there was one game where it was just like... Did we have a game that we just made a beeline to?
I don't remember.
Because PAX '09, it was all about Mass Effect 2 and Left 4 Dead and Halo 3 ODST.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
10, I can't remember, and there was just such little stuff there.
I know.
Splinter Cell Conviction, I remember going to that and having Just Dance blaring.
God, yeah. Oh, Mass Effect 2, maybe?
No, that was already out.
That was '09?
That was '09 as well. Because it came out January 2010, so it was already been out 2 months.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. That one was an all-panel one. I mean, it was the first PAX East, and I mean, it was because it was right before they just weren't showing anything.
Yeah, I don't really remember at all.
And it was a smaller area. I mean, it was
a much smaller convention area.
Yeah.
I think it was about like a third of the size of the current convention center.
Or of what Seattle has, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't remember. I really don't.
yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I was most excited for going to that panel with 402 on it and just ranting and raving about Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, we did do that, didn't we?
Yes,
Or you ranted, and
yes,
I was there recording.
yes. Quantum of Solace
God,
multiplayer is still better than Modern Warfare 2. I don't care what you say, Thor, or anyone else.
it might be just a bit of a stretch, just a bit.
That's fine.
I'll give you Quantum of Solace is better than Ghosts. By far. By far. So much better. But I don't know about Modern Warfare 2.
All right.
I don't know.
Blast from the past.
Yeah. God, I don't even. What was I talking about? Diablo 3 PC, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I finished the main campaign, and that was about it. It was a good thing I logged in, because I didn't realize the auction house only has until, I want to say it's 6/1, 2014, for you to actually get your items out of the storage before they just disappear.
Oh, they give you
So,
that long. I'm like,
had you been trying to sell any of your items, and whether they actually sold or not, you'll either have gold sitting there or your items that you'll have to transfer back into your main storage container in the main game. So yeah, it was a good thing I logged back in, because I didn't remember that at all. Apparently, I was trying to sell some crossbow, I think. Apparently, it didn't sell. Go figure. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, so that was all I was doing on PC. Then we'll go into repeats for 3DS. The only thing I played on 3DS was some more Pokemon Y. I'm on Victory Road now, so I've got a little bit more ways to go before I hit the Elite Four. And then I think that's probably going to do it for the game for me. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed my time up to this point so far. So still having fun with that game. All right, and we'll stick with the repeats again. Played some more Call of Duty Ghosts, and they confused me so much last night. So, March 31st.
mm-hmm.
It's 10:30
Right.
at night.
Uh-huh.
They do a playlist update.
Okay.
Like, okay, I guess I gotta log out, log back in. And when I get back into the multiplayer menu, none of the multiplayer mode names are the same. And I go, wait, did somebody hack this? What the hell? It took me a couple of hours before I realized they probably did this for April Fools, didn't they? So TDM was pew pew pew. Search and Destroy was YOLO.
Oh no!
And all the other ones were random other freaking weird names. I was so confused for a couple hours because they did it so early. I didn't know what was going on.
F April Fool's Day.
I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on because it updated early. I'm like, oh, okay, playlist update. Wait, did someone hack this? What's going on? I'm confused. I'm not going to play this right now. So yeah, I immediately stopped and turned it off. I was like, I don't think I want to play this anymore if this is the direction they're going. But yeah, then I realized that it's got to be an April Fool's joke because there's no way they would let this stand. So yeah, funny little update for April Fools that didn't quite catch for a couple hours. But yeah, I've been playing a little bit more of that, Prestiged again since last episode. I'm pretty close to Prestiging again, but I don't know if I can keep going on this game for much longer. It's just getting to be such a drain with how craptacular the spawns are. It just every game, 3 to 4 deaths that could have been easily prevented had the spawns not put me where they did. Every single time. It's just, it just drains me when that keeps happening. It's just, there's glimmers of something that could be good in that game, and then they crap all over it because the spawns sometimes the some of the gun sites, like the tracking site and the Ripper's weird ability to. Oh yeah, they added a new DLC gun, the Ripper. I may have mentioned that last episode, but yeah, it's a little overpowered. Not a lot. It's like tier 2 for the weapons. It's not quite tier 1, but it's right about there. So, yeah. They just, I don't know, they just keep trying to gut check me every time I try to play the game and have fun. It's like, nah, you're not going to have fun today. It's like, okay, well, thanks, game. Maybe I'll try you later on. Then I was playing a little bit more of Dark Souls for 360 as well. Not really much else to say other than, yeah, curses suck. Make sure you have those curse break talismans on you just in case. So now I've learned that lesson, and I have like 2 of them waiting in my inventory now. That's about it for that. Since I haven't played too much, defeated the boss, got the key for the Blighttown area, opened the door, and then promptly died. So, yeah. I'll see where that goes later on. Played a little bit more Borderlands, a lot more Borderlands 2, with my cousin, Wandering Storms, who finally got his account fixed.
Yay!
Man, that was an annoying thing.
Yes.
What the hell happened there? But yeah, all the saves work. Apparently, I played Fable 2 with him at some point. I don't remember this at all. He has one achievement in Fable 2, and it's, I think, the sidekick achievement. I don't remember this at all, but apparently, maybe I did. I don't remember. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, so we've been playing a bunch of Borderlands 2, and where are we? We just got past Control Core Angel, so we've finished off that plot point. Now we're headed to the Info Stockade. That's kind of where we are at the story. Mm-hmm. And of course, this is playthrough 1, so most of our guns are not great, but we've been starting to find some better stuff now. Mm-hmm. It does make a difference when you're playing with more than one person. You do seem to find way more guns that are really good. I've been definitely finding a lot more blue weapons and occasionally a few pretty damn good purples. So I've been very happy about that. I believe we're up to level 28 now, level-wise, so we're getting there. That's kind of about it for Borderlands 2. I think that takes care of... no, one more repeat, and that's for Xbox Live Arcade, Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. Before he got his account fixed, we were playing some more Clash of Heroes multiplayer, one-on-one, and there was this one match where I got him down to 1 HP.
Oh, why does it sound like a Magic story?
And I just could not get past his walls. Every time I sent a few attacks towards him, they just got busted by his walls. And somehow he turned that game around, and with 1 HP, he took off my 50 that I had remaining. I don't know how. I was amazed that he was able to turn that game around because I thought I had it in the bag. But he trounced me once I got him down to 1 HP. I just could not get past his defense. It was nuts.
Speaking of Scott and you and I.
No, this was my cousin.
Oh, your cousin. Sorry. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I guess this isn't as good.
It doesn't quite fit, huh?
It doesn't quite fit, but the hotel we booked for PAX on Sunday is now $12 cheaper a night.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think they'd let you cancel? And then rebook? Because that would be nice to get $12 cheaper, that's for sure.
I don't know. I'd have to look.
Yeah, I would check just to see. Because obviously, you obviously want to save as much money as you can on the hotel. Just because that's the one massive expense on a trip. What?
The problem is it's up to the hotel.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we live and learn. There's not much you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So played a little more Clash of Heroes solo as well as I finally, after 4 years. 4 years now. Was it 4 years? No, it's been like 2 years. It was probably about 2 years-ish in the making. I finally beat the campaign and got that stupid freaking achievement that glitched on me the first time. Finally. Oh, so now I have all the single-player stuff. And now I'm only missing the multiplayer stuff. That you have to get... I was actually able to get myself up to multiplayer level 10, which unlocked a few extra artifacts that you don't normally get in the main campaign that are exclusive. So far, I haven't seen too much that's that great because they can be used by any of the characters. So it's not race-specific artifacts like the normal ones are. So obviously they can't quite make them too crazy just because anybody can use it. Yeah, that's about it. Other than I played a few random, I made a few random attempts to try and do the 2v2 multiplayer achievement as well, but that didn't end so well because, well, trying to communicate with someone who thinks they know what they're doing more than you do is a little rough, especially when you're not using your microphone. And the person who's trying to tell you what to do is like 10 years old. So, yeah. We promptly lost that match. Yeah, that's about it for Clash of Heroes. So let's move on to the new stuff. We'll start off with the one that I'm not quite enjoying the most right now, and that is I played the Xbox Live Arcade demo / beta for Warface, the free-to-play multiplayer shooter.
Now, apparently, I was reading the CAG Xbox sales thread, and supposedly improvements have been made to the servers in the last 24 hours.
Okay, good. I'll try it out. Because so far my experience has been play for 1 minute and then have the game tell me I have a bad connection, check my connection. Only I'm on wireless, so I know my connection's not bad because it's strong enough that I get any other multiplayer game perfectly fine. And then freeze for like 2 minutes straight. While the countdown clock is still going for the match. So everyone is frozen in place for about 1.5 to 2 minutes of the counter on the timer doing nothing. Just standing around because you can't move. And that's really, really annoying to have that happen constantly in a multiplayer shooter.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a beta. I'm hoping they fix that. And hopefully when I boot it up today, they'll have done something that'll help with that. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes for my next check-in on the beta. But just, it's really rough right now. Yeah, so far my experience has been there's a lot of timers for the stuff that you either, I don't know if it's the stuff you just randomly earn through random drops that you buy with the in-game credits or with the crowns, because that's the pay credits.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm not really 100% sure if that's how that works. If they all have timers on them, or if only the stuff that drops from packs that are random has timers on them. I don't know. I'll be able to tell you more about it later. It's a free-to-play multiplayer shooter. That's about all I got out of it so far.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll check in with that later once I've had more time to actually figure out what the hell is going on in that game.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. The other Xbox Live Arcade game that I was playing was Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Duels, which came out last week.
Yeah, with no
Xbox Live Arcade.
with no fanfare, Konami.
Or barely any advertising at all.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like you mentioned that, and I was like, is that what? A new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game? Because I was like, they released a crap ton of DLC for the old one last month. I remember scrolling past it in the last month, looking at the new add-ons for all the games on the Xbox and scrolling past all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. So I'm like, why are they doing a new game when apparently this is just set to take the place of the original one? Because all the DLC carries over, and you got a nice surprise.
Yeah, and last night I decided, I'm going to buy this game. So I hopped in, bought it, beat the first opponent you have to face off against, which is, of course, from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, Taya.
Yeah. Yay!
Wow. Man, her deck is crap.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't really play.
But they start you with a deck that's even worse. Which is really good that I figured out after I beat Taya. Oh, wait. All the cards from the first game are imported that I won. So all my cards from that previous game, or maybe if you bought them, if you were crazy, you could get those imported. I have Mirror Force already.
I know, I had to buy it.
Okay, well, I think you can have a maximum of 2 of them now in your deck.
Ooh.
It's not limited to 1 anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, so I started playing that, and I spent about 2.5 hours just running through my 600 plus cards, trying to, like, what's this thing do again? Okay, that's what that does again. Okay, that's crap. I don't want that. I'm definitely not going to use that. So I spent about 2 hours trying to make the deck, which I shouldn't have done because I am so tired right now. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, or you can buy pre-constructed decks for like $3.
Yeah, you could do that. Or you could just create a beat stick deck and then win enough cards in the first place from each of the matches that you win.
Yeah.
To create a deck that's more than reputable enough to win you what you need.
True.
So yeah, this game is divided up into different eras from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. Obviously, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc with Yugi, Dark Yugi, or Yami Yugi.
Right.
Then it goes to the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Academy arc. Then it goes to the 5Ds arc. And then it ends off with the Zexal arc, whatever the hell that is, because I have no idea.
That's the newest cartoon. Cause
that much I know.
They're getting ready. I forget, it comes out really soon,
Oh, there's
The
another one.
no. The movie. There was a movie. I think it takes place right after. Not G. What's the third one?
5Ds?
Yes. There's one that takes place after. There's an anime movie. It was only released in Japan, but they're bringing it over, dubbed in English over here,
Huh.
and it's Yugi, Jaden, and whatever the 5Ds dude name is. All like they're all brought through time together, and they have to face off against this evil monster, and if they don't beat him, then time will collapse upon itself and the universe will be destroyed.
So basically, it's the plot of the very first movie,
Roughly, except
essentially,
except
other than the time travel. I
yeah,
believe the time travel wasn't a issue in the first one.
not Bonds Beyond Time.
Okay,
That's
sure.
that's the name of it, and it's coming out soon. So that I guess
Yeah,
that is why they are releasing this. I mean, I just
probably. I
there's
mean,
even
it's
there's a there's a Bonds Beyond Time booster box.
all right.
Maybe it already came out. I thought it was just coming out, but it says it's 20. I could have sworn that I saw that this was coming out. Yeah, because that's the Japanese one. I
Yeah,
could have.
maybe the English version is just coming out.
Yeah, it's not on. Oh, here
All
it
right.
is. Yeah, 3D bombs currently unavailable.
Well, anyway,
All right.
it's not really that much. That's not really much of an issue right now.
Yeah.
The thing I found kind of crazy was it's. I think it must be a slightly older game because it only has 200 achievement points,
Right.
and it's only
That's
got 12 achievements. So I was kind of surprised. And also, it's only $10, which is also good because why the hell would I want to pay $15 for something like this?
yeah.
I was like, I guess, yeah, no, $10 sounds about right. I played the demo. I got up to the point where I faced off against the third duelist that you face on the very first section of the game, which is the first ladder. Each of the ladders leads up to a big named villain, I guess, or hero that you'll have to face off against. I would think. I'm not sure who that is because they keep it all shrouded in mystery and question marks and everything. Keep you guessing. So, but yeah, it imported all the stuff from that first Xbox Live game, and yeah, I was very surprised that it did that. I think that I guess the demo must go up through the very first big named boss of that ladder,
Hmm.
whether that's Joey or somebody else. I don't know, but you know, had some fun. Spent way too long creating a deck that was not that great overall, but was a hell of a lot better than what they gave me in the first place. I have 3 Breaker the Magical Warriors right now in it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, ain't nothing really touching me much. And yeah, so I'll definitely be running through that on my own time. Because who the hell wants to watch me play Yu-Gi-Oh cards on videos? Probably not many people.
I don't know about that.
Probably not though.
Well, if 360 had Twitch, you could stream it.
Yeah, if my stupid capture card actually had a way of letting me record my voice and stream it out to Twitch at the same time, that would be awesome too. But it doesn't, so yeah. But yeah, well, I'll figure something out eventually, I guess. But all right, so that's all I really was to talk about. That it's Yu-Gi-Oh. It works. It, the AI is kind of stupid.
July 15th is when
Oh, for the movie.
when the movie releases in the U.S.
Okay.
It had a UK release earlier. It had a UK release 3 years ago, but it comes out in America July 15th.
Okay. All right, so that's all the Xbox Live Arcade stuff. So let's talk Xbox Live indie games, because I played 2 of them. Played the demo for Proxy Blade Zero. I believe Proxy Blade Zero was I want to say it was a $5 game.
Okay.
But it looks like there was a lot of work put into this game. It's a fully 3D hack and slash.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of gave me the vibe of like Metal Gear Rising a little bit.
This is also, I think, it's a Steam Greenlight game as well.
It wouldn't surprise me because Xbox Live AD games just don't get enough exposure anymore.
Right.
So good on him. He needs to get that thing on Steam because I had a lot of fun with it. It definitely gave me some Metal Gear Rising vibes for the combat.
Mm-hmm.
There's a counter system. There's a heavy attack, light attack. There's modifiers for it to let you do different combos and moves for it. It was a really fun game. I had a lot of fun. You know, unfortunately, all the indie games are limited to 8 minutes, so
right.
You know, you can't really get too far. And it was right in the middle of fighting one of the larger enemies that has a giant laser cannon. I think the premise for the game was you're a robot inside a computer who's trying to kill off rogue robots that are trying to hurt humans or something. I think that was the setup.
Okay.
But it's fully polygonal. It doesn't look too bad for being an indie game. I know that's kind of a cop out, but it looked alright.
Mm-hmm.
The graphics were pretty good. Nice little neon-ish look to it. So I liked it. And then the other Xbox Live indie game demo that I played was for a game called Shipwreck.
That is also a Greenlight game. I just looked that up.
Good, because this game is a game everyone should buy if you love Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
If you love Legend of Zelda, that's what this game is. Seriously, it's straight out of the Game Boy Black and White, Game Boy Color remake of Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
You wake up on a beach, you find a sword, start going. Because you gotta get off this island. That's the premise.
Okay.
You're shipwrecked. You want to get off the island, so let's go on an adventure to get off the island. And I had a lot of fun with it. And even though the game was $3, I said, hell yes, I'll buy that, and I bought it immediately. It's full color. Unlike the last Game Boy inspired game that I played. Which was what was it, Rad Ray Gun a couple months ago?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, that was the name of it. It's just I think it was a couple months ago. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It's weird that it seems like you're stuck to approximately what a Game Boy screen resolution would look like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not quite filling out most of the screen. There might have been an option to expand the screen a little bit, but I'm not really sure because I wasn't playing around with the options at that point. The demo actually gives you access to 3 different game saves. One where 0% completion. One was like 2 hours completion in, and the other was like 8 hours completion in or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a pretty good variety of choices. Of course, I went with 0 completion because I want to see what the game looks like from the very beginning. It follows the same style of controls as like Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, where the A and B button are really your only buttons to do any actions, and you can actually put whatever item you want in each of those slots. So instead of having the sword, you could have like something like a boomerang or whatever. although I haven't seen a boomerang in the game. It's just an example. I did, however, find a shield in the first dungeon that I played through. Got up to the point where I was able to save at the first hotel, the first inn that they give you. Boy, did I misjudge the cost of that inn by a lot. I said, oh, let's take some bets on what kind of price this inn's going to be. Let's say something like 5 gold for the first inn. Nope, not even close. It was like 40. Yeah. But yeah, if you enjoy top-down Legend of Zelda style video games, this game is definitely a must-buy. Because it was really tight controls, had a lot of fun with it, and it looks pretty good too. So be on the lookout for when that comes to Steam as well. So that's all the games that I've been playing. Let's get over to what did you want to do first?
Let's just do coming soon.
All right, we'll do the games coming soon for April. Alright, hit me up with all those games coming out this month, which is actually kind of thin.
A little thin, but I mean there are a few notable ones coming out,
especially after a delay.
Yeah, coming out as we're recording this today. We kind of already mentioned MLB The Show 14. Now it is rather not PS4. PS4 is next month. This month is PS3, and we'll get to Vita in a second. But yeah, it is just...
Any idea why they delayed the other one a month?
Just to probably give them another month.
Okay.
Wasn't ready yet, I guess.
All right, sure.
We've not seen hardly anything about it. It's not quite Titanfall 360, but we've seen barely more about MLB The Show 14 on PS4 than we have Titanfall 360.
I seriously can't believe they delayed it another full week.
2 weeks.
Or sorry, another 2 full weeks.
Yeah, it's a full month.
Yeah.
Since the other one. We'll get to that in a second. I do need to also mention, in case you're wanting basketball as well, there is a $90 package where you get MLB The Show 14 and NBA 2K14 on PS3. So there is that. Also, the updated version of Ragnarok Odyssey Ace, comes out on PS3, and we'll get to Vita in a second. And then Friday, PC releases we don't generally go over, but this is kind of a big enough one. Friday, April 4th, is Elder Scrolls Online, the MMO.
Yay.
PC only.
Sure.
The current gen consoles don't come out until the summer.
Yeah. Bit of a delay in between.
Yeah. As Steven was referring to, going to April 8th, Titanfall on 360 finally makes its debut.
I really hope that game is good.
Yeah, I do as well.
I'm worried now. I really am.
I'm concerned. Because like I said last episode, it's one of two things. It's either that it's so close to the Xbox One version, they want to push the Xbox One sales, and they think by delaying it, at the time we thought 2 weeks, now a month, that will get people over on the fence, or it's NBA Elite 11, and it's a piece of trash. It's one of those two things. We just don't know which. I hope it's the former.
I hope it's not the trash thing, because I really don't want to have to get it on PC unless I absolutely have to.
Right. Lego The Hobbit comes out on everything but Wii U on April 8th. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
April 8th.
Any clue why not Wii U?
We'll get to it in a second. I don't know.
Oh, there's actually a reason.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Just.
All right.
It's not coming out on April 8th.
Okay.
I don't know why. I have no idea.
Okay, all right.
April 8th also sees Kinect Sports Rivals for Xbox One and Hello Kitty Cruisers for Wii U.
Is it a kart racer or something?
I'm sure it is.
Okay.
All right, April 15th is Trials Fusion for Xbox One and PS4.
There's the big release.
Well, kind of interesting. So it's coming out as a download for $20, as it traditionally does, but they're also putting it out on disc for $40.
Huh.
So yeah, buy the download if you can.
Obviously. Yeah.
April 15th also sees the PS4 release of Final Fantasy 14.
Oh yeah, that really
Realm
not
Reborn.
great.
Actually,
MMO.
it's pretty good. The when they now that they
No, it's a competent MMO now as opposed to a bad broken thing.
right.
But it's still an MMO.
Yeah.
It's a traditional MMO.
Well, you could say the same
with a
thing about
subscription.
Well, you can say the same thing about Elder Scrolls.
Yes, but at least they kind of tried to do something a little different with their combat in Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right. April 15th also sees 2014 FIFA World Cup Brazil for 360 and PS3.
Yeah, soccer, so sure.
April 27th, Lego The Hobbit for Wii U.
Oh, there it is.
I
So it was just like 2 weeks late, that's all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, sure.
And that's literally the only console game that week.
Sure,
At least
why not?
retail. And then the 29th, I'm assuming to tie in with the movie, which must come out that weekend, Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then on PS...
If it's not that week, it's either the week after or the week before.
Yeah. And then on PS3 you have Hakoki Stories of the Shinsengumi and Rambo the video game, which is awful apparently.
Oh god, that game is so terrible.
Yeah, they're putting it out on disc for some reason.
Oh, that game, it looks bad, it sounds bad because it sounds like somebody recorded the audio straight off the VHS version of the movies. Oh, it's just, it makes me want to, oh god. Why?
All right.
The only reason to buy that disc is to burn it.
All right, now going to the handhelds, which is actually a Vita heavy month.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah. So today, as we're recording this, mentioned before, MLB The Show 14 and Ragnarok Odyssey, Ace.
Mm-hmm.
Something to know with MLB The Show 14 is they are starting a thing now where your franchise or Road to the Show that you start will now carry on to future versions of the game. You don't have to start over every year.
Okay.
So that's kind of an interesting development with that game.
Well, that's good.
All right. Well, it's something kind of revolutionary for sports games, to be perfectly honest.
Well, yeah, not having to start over every single time you get a new game. That's great.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Yu-Gi-Oh! Did.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of nuts.
All right, April 8th, Lego The Hobbit comes out on both handhelds. The 3DS on Friday the 11th also gets Disney Magical World.
I have not heard much about this at all.
I've not either.
I only know that it exists. And that's about it.
I knew it existed when I was, compiling the list. So
I knew about it just barely before that because I think I saw an advertisement in something.
April 15th has Atlas's new game, Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars, coming out on both 3DS and Vita.
I really probably should pay attention to their emails that they keep sending me, but I'm not sure what this game actually is, other than it's supposedly some kind of RPG.
Okay, take the take the core mechanic from Phantasy Star 3 where you have to decide which girl you marry and then your kid comes along and that's essentially what this game is. Like you're like the special God-born guy and there's all these female characters and you have to choose which one you want to marry and then your children are what form out the party or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
But then again, it's an Atlas game, so
Yeah.
that's right on par for what they usually publish.
All right. So I mean, I'm
All right.
probably That's roughly the.
And then it gives me enough of an idea of what it is that
Yeah.
I'll look into it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the elevator pitch. I may have some details mixed up there, but essentially, take the marriage and children mechanic from Phantasy Star 3.
I'm more interested in Gardening Mama 2 Forest Friends for the 3DS here on the same day.
Yeah.
There was a Gardening Mama 1?
Yeah.
How did I not know this?
Yeah,
I don't know how I missed the first one.
Majesco holding on for dear life.
They're actually doing way better than you think. They're actually doing a publishing arm.
Oh yeah, that's right. What's Their Names is actually owned by Majesco. The people they're bringing, it's headed by the former IGN
Midnight Ride or something like that.
Yeah,
Midnight something.
Yeah, they're a publishing arm, and they're the ones bringing like Gone Home and Papers, Please to PS4 and Vita, and they're bringing Costume Quest 2 over, and I forgot that they're owned by Majesco. Okay. All right, well, the 22nd has Demon Gaze for the Vita, another Vita RPG.
Okay.
And then the 29th, 3DS gets Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return.
That's a weird, out of left field one, too.
Yeah.
Wonder what the hell that's about.
Yeah, I have no idea. So,
have to go look.
Yeah. So let's do some NPDs real quick for February.
Now it's that time of the month that causes gamers worldwide to be crabby and irrational. No, it's not PMS. It's NPD.
All right, lay those random numbers on me from last month.
Well,
or not last month. February.
Well, I mean, because of new hardware sales are up 42%, and that carries the whole physical industry up 9% from last year. Software sales are down 9%. So just to give you
physically, I'm gonna guess digitally, they're probably okay.
Yeah. In terms of the consoles, PS4 was number one. Barely. They sold about 287,000 units. Xbox One sold 258,000, so they're they're still behind, but the gap significantly narrowed.
Yeah.
360 sold 114,000, which is down 62%. I mean, basically now 360 is going to be getting people that have systems broken and are rebuying 360s, or people that are still on the PS2 or the Wii and are now looking to get a newer console that is not $400 or $500.
Yeah, there you go.
And then the Wii U is about 82,500. It's up 25%.
That's good.
They're attributing that to sales of Donkey Kong, although Donkey Kong did not make the top 10. Donkey Kong did sell 130,000 units between physical and digital.
Oh, that's good.
But that's nowhere near close to 10, because we know what number 10 is. It's about 200,000. We'll get to that here. I don't think there's anything else. Apparently, Xbox One, we know the game attached people are averaging 3 games with their Xbox One.
Okay.
Xbox One sold 772,000 games in February, but 360 sold 2.46 million games.
Sure.
And we'll go with the games. Number 10, selling just over 200,000 copies between physical and digital, is Bravely Default. Oh. And it is outpacing Fire Emblem, which came out the same month last year. And much like Fire Emblem, if you didn't buy it in the first week, the game was gone from store shelves until the month of March. So that is what pushed probably some of these digital sales of it.
Yeah, probably.
Number 9 was Minecraft on 360, still chugging along at retail.
Yep, because more and more people continue to experience the fact that Minecraft is crazy awesome. Also, the most recent update is awesome.
Yeah, too bad the vast majority of those people that are buying this on disc are not getting those updates.
Yeah, unfortunately, because update 14 was so recent, there's no way it would be on the disc.
Well, yeah, I mean, the disc is going to be whatever was pressed
I
back in June or May of
think
last
it
year.
was like update 12 or
Yeah.
11 at that point. Yeah, something like that.
All right, number 8, and kind of surprising they got this high, but Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13.
Wow.
Sold the most on PS3. Makes sense. That's kind of the RPG platform right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the most starved for games that people want to play.
Well, no, that's where all the RPGs are. I mean, on 360.
Yeah.
You know, once Skyrim and Amalur and Mass Effect came, you know, South Park is the last RPG that has come out, and even then, you know, it'd been a full year since an RPG came out on the 360. Well, Dark Souls now, obviously, of course, too. But
yeah, Dark Souls 2, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, up until this month, 360, if you want an RPG, you know, you're rebuying Skyrim, you're rebuying Borderlands, you're rebuying Amalur, you know.
Or replaying them.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting these games from 2011 or 2012.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Of course, you could do a lot better than friggin' Final Fantasy 13-3.
Oh, yeah, but... All right, number 7 was Assassin's Creed 4. Number 6 was Battlefield 4, selling best on PS4.
Man, that game, whew, still got some graphical glitches going on in that.
All right, number 5 was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, okay.
Number 4, and kind of surprised it's this high up, but then again, I mean, people were wanting, I mean, this was like the first retail PS4 game an Xbox One game to come out since the launches, essentially. Thief jumped up to number 4. It was, yeah, I mean, that's surprising it was that high.
People were looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Initially.
Number 3 was NBA 2K14. Number 2, and I can totally understand this because it went like the whole month of February being sold out everywhere, was the Lego Movie video game.
Yeah, okay.
And number 1 was Call of Duty Ghosts.
Unfortunately.
And
although actually, you know what, that makes sense because there have been a ton of sales for it. Still sucks.
Yeah. And then Pokemon X and Y have hit 3.4 million units life to date. And combined. Okay. And they just got done with the promotion where if you bought a new 3DS or 2DS in the month of March and one of 6 first-party Nintendo games, you got a free download code for either X or Y, as long as you did everything through Club Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. All right, so that's the numbers.
And as soon as I get done yawning, I think that's the show.
Yeah.
Because I need to go lay down for about an hour.
Yeah, and
like so damn.
And I gotta go to work.
Oh, well, while you go to work, I need a job. Oh boy, let's leave it at that. All right, so I think the next show is probably going to be just after PAX East at some point during that following week, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do for PAX East. I don't know if we're going to...
Yeah, I don't know if we're doing a show there or not. Lugging a laptop up there and the microphone would be a little bit much.
Yeah, so, I mean, we are going to PAX East. I mean, I hope there's some decent stuff there. I would think they would want to highlight some next-gen stuff. I mean, the only big heavy hitter we know is going to be there is PS4 Diablo. Square Enix is going to have a Murdered Soul Suspect panel, similar to the Ubisoft ones that we always went to at like 6 o'clock on Friday night. Other than that, I don't know what's going to be there. I mean, my feeling is it's going to be all E3 and GDC demos that, you know, the plebes like us haven't played yet.
Right, yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, right now, the biggest game it's like that Murdered Soul Suspect panel and Diablo on PS4. That's kind of the...
Well, maybe the new Dive Kick update will be there, and maybe the new Street Fighter will be there.
Yeah, we'll just
Hopefully.
have to see. Yeah.
Would like to get my hands on some Street Fighter time, just because I haven't played it in a long while. Would be interesting to see if any of my skills continue to work, but we'll see. All right, so that's going to do it for this week. I have been getting ready to take your soul in a shadow duel. Was it no, Shadow Game. God, I'm so tired. I'm screwing it up already. I've been getting ready to take your soul in a shadow game. Shadow Game? Yeah. God, God damn, I'm so tired.
Just wrap it up.
Stupid. My name is Steven Boss, the Dark Boss, man.
And yeah, I'm that guy that likes Final Fantasy. I'm that guy that's playing Final Fantasy X-2 HD first. I'm MSU Hitman Jason Billingsley.
Oh, we all know. You're a fan of the cosplay.
I've not beaten the game.
I know, but you're a fan of the cosplay.
Yes.
Scene.
And yes.
In general.
Yes. And I want to play the game I haven't beaten, so.
Alright. Well, we'll let you go do that after you go to work today. And we'll see you on live, PSN, maybe even on the net.
Peace out, everybody.